my loves, and welcome back to the Know Who You Are podcast. I am your host, Misa Love, and on this podcast, it is a production of me journaling out loud, sharing my life lessons that I learn on a daily basis, weekly basis with you guys so that we can all grow, love, and prosper together and become our greatest self. So listen, I would like to discuss the consequence of yes. Listen, if you are currently in an unproductive environment, you're surrounded by people who are content with being stagnant, content with being stuck in their ways, listen, you are going to have to go against the grain and do the exact opposite of what everybody else is doing in order to get to that next level. What does that look like? Let's put that into context. It's Friday night, everybody is going out to Tootsie's to get that seafood rice. Listen, you're going to have to put that seafood rice aside. Now, if you're from Miami, if you know, you know that Tootsie seafood rice is something else, but you're going to have to step away from the Tootsie seafood rice, the hookahs, the shots of Tito's or Patron, whatever it is you desire. You're going to have to step away from those things, and you're going to have to dive into dedication and focus on where you are going. And sometimes it may feel lonely. Sometimes you may feel like you're the only one moving forward and trying to do something better. And most likely, if you're coming from an unproductive environment, most likely you are, and that's okay. And eventually, although people don't necessarily understand now, people will catch on once that success begins to follow you. Oh, this person was doing different things because they had a purpose. They was going somewhere, and who knows, people that you're separating from now will catch on. Some people you have to let go. Some people you have to let go of, because a lot of the times when you're going through the process of focusing on your dreams and you're working towards a greater goal than the people around you, because you are set apart, you will notice that certain people start to fall away from you. And with that being said, you're able to identify the people who purposely put you on clearance because they wasn't willing to pay full price. And what that could look like in context is truly treating you as who you are worthy to be treated as. And a lot of times people do treat us as we treat ourselves, but it's time for you to separate. Separate from all the partying, separate from the drinking, separate from the smoking, or whatever it is that vice is that's been holding you back and distracting you, and truly focus in on where you're going. Tunnel vision, moving straight forward, no looking back, and just tracking forward into your destiny. Listen, let me tell you something. It's not going to be easy to see everybody that you're used to seeing hanging out, doing this, and that, and you feel alone, and you feel like, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right choice? Yes, you are. When you get to the point to where you decide, I am going to change my life, no matter what that looks like, I am going to accept the consequence of yes by saying, although this may not look so sexy right now, so beautiful right now, I'm going to stick to it, because eventually it's going to be everything I ever thought I wanted and exceed your expectations of what you thought you wanted. But it's going to take that sacrifice and that consequence of your yes right now in order to get to the other side. So, for everything that you desire, it's going to take a sacrifice. It's going to take a sacrifice. If you're used to living a certain type of way, get prepared to do the exact opposite of the things that you have been doing. That means picking up water instead of the alcohol. That means stepping away from all the intimacy that you're having going on with involving yourself in people in, that adult manner. You know what I mean? And really focusing on where you're going. That consequence of yes is something serious, because I'm telling you, I'm going through that myself now and trying to figure things out, and I know that my yes now will be so beneficial in my future to come, to where it's worth the consequences of feeling left out. It's worth the consequences of feeling different. It's worth, my yes is worth feeling set apart. Because although I see everybody else having fun, what seemingly looked like having fun, I came to the conclusion there is no reason for me to work hard on my 9 to 5, trading my money for time, and then going out just to waste all my money on alcohol and food. It's time to take that money that you're making in your 9 to 5 and reinvest it into you. Reinvest it into where you're going. If you need a new microphone, invest in that instead of a shot of vodka at a club. Or if you're moving forward with being a businessman, buy you a business suit. Invest in a really nice suit for when you go out networking and things like that. Invest in the things that's going to elevate you during your process of going through your consequence of yes. And I truly hope this is making sense with what I'm trying to express. When you say yes to changing your life, your whole world is going to change. When you say yes to changing your life and you stick to that yes and say no matter what, I am sticking to my yes. Even if I feel left out, I'm going to stick to my yes. Even if it looks like everybody around me is living the life and I'm over here alone focusing on my business, I'm still going to say yes. Focus on your yes, understand your why, and move forward in knowing that you are set apart for a reason. You have these thoughts and ideas to build this business for a reason. And you are going to have to pay your dues with the consequence of yes and stepping away from everything as you knew it so that you could step into what's really meant for you and the people attached to you. No more putting yourself on clearance. No more worrying about what other people are going to say, how they're going to feel about you choosing you in this season. You have to do what you have to do to get to where you know you're meant to be. Keep going and understand that you have to walk in your boldness of knowing that you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. Your boldness does not have to look identical to anybody else's. You could be bold in grace. You don't have to be bold just by being loud and having your voice project. You could be bold in grace and move forward in who you are, no matter what that looks like. Be your authentic self. Understand that with your yes, there is consequences, but those consequences are going to be beneficial because the consequences of is being separated. Be ye separate. It's being separated and set apart in this season as you're building and developing your new future, your new life, to where you're going. Understand who you are, know who you are, and know that your consequence of yes is going to be extremely beneficial. This is episode 9, and I'll see you guys on the next one.